if you're doing the same exercises over and over and over, then I want to let you in on a little secret. See, it's not about the exercise selection per se. That's going to be important, but what's more important is total working volume. So what does that mean? Let's break it down. We want to look at how many working sets does it take for you to actually start building real tangible muscle. When I say tangible muscle, that means muscle you can actually see in the mirror, like all you guys watching want. So let's look at, from the exercises you're doing, are you actually seeing results or no? Because if you're not, then you're wasting your time. If you're using exercises with an RPE, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, rate of perceived exertion, like exercises that aren't very energy demanding and challenging, then you can be spending like 2-3 hours a day in the gym, but it doesn't make a difference. You're still not going to build new muscle. What you need to look at is the intensity of the workouts. Making sure that the weight you're doing is actually challenging to put enough stimuli on your muscles to cause growth and adaptation. That's really how all this works. And so many people, they spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym and they're doing junk volume. If you've ever heard that saying, basically, I don't entirely agree with the word junk because I think all volume is good. But when you look at a point of strategy and efficiency, we want to really factor in, okay, what I'm doing, from the entire workout, getting me closer, further, or somewhere in between of where I'm looking to go. And the reason I say somewhere in between is you might be getting pretty good results, but spending 3 hours in the gym, or even like an hour and a half in the gym, when you could be getting the same amount of results in half the time, right? Or you could be getting double the results with those 3 hours, if that makes sense. So when you start to look at how much volume you're doing, and then from that volume, the efficiency of each set, that's what's going to be truly most important. So working sets are going to be the heavy sets you do after your warm-up sets, right? And then the drop sets, when you're really fatigued and your muscles are really exhausted, that's what's going to truly count. As much as they all count, that's what's going to be a lot more important. So if you think about, having a seesaw, right? One side of the seesaw is going to be volume, the other side is going to be efficiency, right? So you can do super low efficiency and not be doing everything perfect, but a ton of volume and be making progress. And that's truly how I got a bunch of the results in the beginning, the first decade of my journey. But the last couple of years, what I've been able to do to actually maintain and build new muscle is really start to tip up the side of efficiency. And now this means I don't have to be in the gym as much. And honestly, I've taken so many breaks from the gym where I have other things that are just more priority at the time, whether it be my business or my career, my family, traveling. It doesn't mean I'm not exercising, but I'm not exercising near as much as I was in the past. And I'm not spending 2 or 3 hours in the gym 6 or 7 days a week. And I'm definitely not doing double sessions. As much as it's great once in a while to do that, I don't need to do that because I've dialed my nutrition, my hormones, my metabolism in. So everything is stable. And then the training efficiency is just making sure that when I do exercise, I'm getting the most bang for my buck. And that's what 99% of you guys watching are going to need. You probably don't have enough time to be going in the gym multiple times a week. And all the people I speak with, my clients included, they tell me that they just don't have time to make it in the gym or they don't have the energy. And although that's BS because we all make the time, I understand where you're coming from because you have other things that are tipping that scale of importance up, right? Rather than spending 2-3 hours a day in the gym. So what you need, if you're watching this video and you're still like resonating, is you need a way of getting the most efficiency from the workouts you're doing because, truly you could be getting 2 workouts a week that are 30 minutes, literally 2 30-minute workouts, an hour in total from the entire week, and be getting way better results than somebody that's spending 6 or 7 hours a week in the gym or more. And the reason I say that is my clients literally are getting these results just because I've spent so much time putting into how we do the programming and how we do the exercise selection, how we manage the overall structure of the training. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions that I used to believe was I was under the impression like, I need 1 or 2 workouts, per week to actually build muscle. And for those of you guys that have been following me for, some time now, when I used to work as an in-person trainer, I literally would do double sessions, meaning I would do, shoulder day, for example, as my first workout in the morning or the afternoon. And then I would do, like quads and calves in the evening. And that would be like day 1. And then I would do like day 2, back and triceps. And that's my first workout. And then my second workout would be, hamstrings and glutes, right? And you can kind of see where I'm going with this, but like after 3 days, I literally trained every muscle group. And then after the whole week, I would like train every muscle group twice, which means I was getting like 7 to 15 training sessions on average every single week. And the reason for that is A, I loved being in the groove of working out all the time. But B, I thought that's what I needed to get results. And really what I needed was more efficiency. And so when I stepped back and I started to actually look at what I was doing in the gym, my volume decreased instantly. And as much as I would love to be in the gym all the time, I just truly don't have that much time because I run a business and I have other priorities. So when I'm in the gym for a ton of time, it's great. But now that I'm super efficient, it's like I need to make sure that I don't overtrain and I let my body actually recover. Because one other thing that I really came across as I got older was, and more experience with my fitness journey is, this, or I knew this, but I didn't actually apply it into my life and implement it. But when you're in the gym, you're just tearing your muscle fibers down and putting them under damage and stress, which is good stress as long as you're not overdoing it. And when you're sleeping, assuming that you have the proper amount of nutrients and adequate rest, that's when your body is going to actually go into the mode of building up new muscle fibers and basically hypertrophy, which is just the enlargement of muscles and like looking more jacked, bro. That's what's going to happen when you're outside of the gym. So knowing that, I've started to really focus more on that side of things, the nutrition, the recovery, and making sure that I can stay dialed in without having to spend all the time in the gym. And I think that's one of the reasons that like most of the people I work with relate with and enjoy my coaching is because they know that they're in the same shoes. Like they don't want to be in the gym that much. And so we don't need to be doing 5, 6, 7 days. Like we don't even really need to be doing more than 3 or 4. It's really a matter of what you feel best with. This is why each and every one of my clients, once they enroll into my program, we have our first intro call, which we break down like what their preferences are. Do you want to just work out twice a week? Do you want to do 3 times? Some people are only doing once a week, and yeah, it's going to be tough to get by with that, but we can do it, right? It's just a matter of what is the preference and what is most doable, and then I'm going to build out a program for you that's going to structure your training accordingly. If you're doing just once a week, then yeah, maybe we might have to be in there 2 hours, right? And we can get by, but it's going to be a little bit slower progress and not as efficient as if we did twice or 3 times a week at 30 to 40-minute sessions. And now most of my clients, their workouts are like 25 to 40 minutes, especially the ones that don't have access to a gym. They just work at home and they're like efficient with it, and they start to get real results. So for those of you guys watching, I just want you to understand that more is not always better. It's the exact same thing, with, like business, right? If you're doing a bunch of work or even like studying, right? If you're studying, but your brain is really tired and you're just doing more and you're over stressing yourself, it's like, okay, maybe you should be in a better state to actually get the most from it, right? It's like that really with anything. Like more is not always better, and most of the time it's not. Usually efficiency is better, right? So don't think that just by doing more time in the gym, spending more time there, eating more protein is going to get it. It's the same thing with nutrition, right? Like I used to eat 300 grams of protein a day, and I would be drinking 50 to 70 grams of it from whey protein shakes, or I would be doing like, way too much food that like I couldn't even absorb it and digest it all, and like I didn't feel great. And I think just knowing that more is not better is what I'm going to probably title this video. Just understand that efficiency is key. So make sure that what you're doing is actually getting you closer. So the efficiency in the gym, the sets, the volume, the exercises, the exercise technique, the controlled eccentrics, the lowering portion and the upward portion, like, are you actually looking at all the variables, or are you just looking at one? Because more, bro, I'll say it again, it's not better. I'll see you guys in the next video.